Question: have you ever wondered what were the three major keys to living a more fulfilled life today? Well, I've interviewed quite a few people on this here particular podcast, and I've extracted three key things that will make a difference to your life today if you consider them. One being the fact that you should consider your history. Why? Because your history has so much to do with where you are presently today. Number two, you should also think about the mind. What are you thinking about? Think on these things. What things do I think about to get me to where I want to be or to be living a more fulfilled life? And number three, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about the plan, the vision, or the goals that you have before you that you are pressing towards. Now, we're going to talk about that in today's podcast. However, I just wanted to open up with that idea because now it's the time to go ahead and start to live a more fulfilled life. I don't know if you're like me in the middle of summer right here in Tampa, Florida, in which a lot of free time is had right now. However, looking forward, I'm like, no, I want to make sure I end this year with the best year that I've ever had in my life. And I'm more so than anything concerned about you, right? What are you doing? Are you making the necessary preparations to having the best year of your life or preparing for better in life? Because there's so much more to life than living just to pay bills, just to accomplish what somebody else said that you should be doing, or to be doing what you have been doing, even though you've been frustrated while doing it. Well, great people, welcome. It's me, Rickey Jones Jr., back again for another Pursuit of Destiny podcast. And I'm also excited because we're going to tap into what's necessary for you to live a fulfilled life, get on a purposeful pursuit, more than anything to fulfill your destiny, okay? And so, like I said, number one, it's about history. A lot of people don't like to consider history, nor do a lot of people like to even dive into what their history is. And this could be oh so important. For example, right? Let me talk about me, because I know if I talk about me, you won't get mad at me because I'm talking about you. With me, my parents were people that were moving, right? And I'm saying that knowing who I am. Long story short, my family and I are moving to Johannesburg, South Africa this month. And you may be like, whoa, how are you making such a bold move? And how are you able to say it with such a smile? Well, because of my history. And so, like I said, my parents have made moves. My mom, raised in Norfolk, Virginia, she went off to college to pursue a better life, a life of purpose, and ended her up in the Army and started traveling around the world doing that. She ran into my father, who, when she was stationed in Augusta, he was in the military as well, in the Army. And then they were married, lived life in Augusta. I was born in Augusta. Then they moved to Atlanta. And so upon living in Atlanta, boom shakalaka, they started living life, doing life because they wanted more, they wanted better for their lives, right? And Atlanta was the next move. And so boom, a move there, right? So raised in Atlanta, went off to college myself to Valdosta State University, which is in South Georgia. However, while there, God was like, no. I have more for you. What you're doing right now is not what I want you to be doing. However, there's more for you that I want you to do. And it ended up with me moving to Louisiana to go to LSU, right? Which is why I love the school so much, because it's indicative of change in God's hand on my life in ways in which I would never be able to explain. However, that's why I rock it so much. But then went out there, and then upon graduating from LSU with my business degree, moved back to Atlanta to go to seminary school, right? And then that's me. If I pull my history of my wife, right, because we are together as one, and so her history is now my history as we are creating history each and every day. Her parents, right, her father was born in Alabama, mom in Atlanta. Mom went to Alabama to go to school. Boom shakalaka. They got together, moved back to Atlanta, did life together. And then God called them to Tampa, Florida, right? And while here, they did all amazing things, traveled around the world, doing ministry and doing missions and things like that. And Chrystle was born in Atlanta, lived in Tampa, started missions at 7 years old. And upon us even getting together, not even marrying, but us getting together, I knew God's plan for my life, which was to travel around the world, teaching and sharing his love. And so meeting Chrystle, she was like, do you have a passport? And I said, no, I haven't had a need for a passport. I've done some cruises to Mexico or whatever, but you don't really need a passport for that. She was like, no, I think you should get one. And thought to myself, that's a good idea. If I'm gonna travel around the world, there is a document that I need to have with me that grants me access back to Atlanta, right? And so I did get the passport. And upon us getting married, the first place we went was Aruba. And so, boom shakalaka, we've been going ever since then. Why is that important to my present today? Largely because us making this move to Johannesburg, South Africa, is not a surprise for myself. It's not a surprise for Chrystle. Therefore, when we heard God say it to us, we were like, cool, let's make the move. You've told us to do other things before. You had us to move from Atlanta to Tampa, where we were thinking about moving to Virginia. God told us, no, Tampa is where I want you to be. And now we see why. And now Johannesburg is the next move. It's just that simple. I want you just to think on the history of your parents, history of yourself. If you don't know your parents, history of the family members that raised you. Think about the things that they've done, because that has an influence over how they raise you and your perspective of life, of the world, and of other people. And that has shaped you thus far, right? But then even going forward, you've done some things in the past. You've had some thoughts in the past. You've either had positive thoughts or negative thoughts. You've had thoughts that you could be, or you had negative thoughts that, no, I can't do. And it's all because of your history. And a lot of people don't consider the history. So as I talk through the podcast episodes, as I interview people, I always ask them, like, what was your childhood like? What was it like as you were raised? What was it like living in your home? What was it like being a sibling, and those things? Because it shapes you in ways in which you may not have thought about if you haven't considered it. However, upon exiting or upon leaving this here particular podcast, I want you to do some introspection, right? Just think within yourself of those things. What is your history? What are your parents' history? How have their history shaped the history in which you've lived and experienced yourself? Because it all matters, right? And so think on those things, write those things down. Even if you need to pause this podcast episode right now and to reflect, do so. Because it's a major key to get you to where you will ultimately be. A major key for you to be living a purposeful, fulfilled life each and every day. And it's also a major key that will affect the generations to come, right? Or your legacy. My kids now have, which, we have a lovely daughter who's 7, also a son that's 4, turning 5 in September. And now they will have a global perspective just in one move, right? They have the thought and the idea that, okay, we're from Tampa. We live in Tampa. They know that I lived in Atlanta. Crystal's from Atlanta as well. So they already know we make moves. However, to make a big move together, that's already where their minds are. That's already shaping their history. I know we'll make moves beyond there as well. However, all of these moves and things are shaping their history, as my history were shaped way before I was even here, right? So you seeing it all come together, okay? And I want it all to make sense. And I definitely is why I'm repeating myself in certain instances, because a lot of times people just glaze over it or think, no, that's just you. That's something that only you could do or somebody else can do. Well, no, it's not just for me and my story. It's for you and your story too. You may just haven't realized it as a major or important thing that you've dealt with in life, right? And so history. Number 2, great people, one of the other major keys I listen to and tap into and hear in talking to people is their mindset. What is your mindset? What do you believe about yourself? What are your beliefs? What do you have faith in? What are you saying about yourself? And what are you receiving about yourself that is contained within your mind? I heard a good quote, right? Says that a bird can fly over your head, but it's up to you whether or not you allow for it to create a nest in your hair, right? In other words, things can come. Things gonna fly over you. Things gonna come across your radar, whether you listening to music, whether you watching TV, whether you're on social media, or you in conversation with people. Thoughts will come across your mind. However, the question is, what do you allow to remain in your mind, which are the thoughts that you have? What beliefs do you have? Are they limiting beliefs? Are they beliefs that have no limits? Which one is it? Do you believe that you can do all things, or do you believe there are certain things that are available to you? What are your thoughts? Either one, right? Whichever one that you have will ultimately allow for the life that you ultimately live. If you believe that there are certain things that are allowed for you, and there are certain things that you will never be able to do, you rest assured that you will never be able to do those things that you've already conditioned yourself to say, I will never do. If you realize that this life is a life worth living and there is no limit, there is nothing that you aren't able to do because of the greater power on the inside of you, then you'll accomplish those things. Things will come your way and you'll look at it like, okay, I'm here for this. I'm built for this. Or if it's a problem, you'll say, okay, I know the solution. I am the solution. I have the solution. The solution can come to me and you'll be able to overcome those things. That's why I do those videos on the various mornings, right? Because a lot of people that I come in contact with are dormant, and the thoughts that they have about themselves, they're dormant about what they believe that they can achieve, that they can do, or that they can accomplish. So I do those videos just to give you a jolt of energy, right? Just 30 seconds of uplifting, high energy, high excitement with a little message, right? Hopefully that little message is impactful enough that even just for that day, you're better, or you're energized, or you're rejuvenated, or you're optimistic, because optimism is something that money can't buy. But optimism is something that will allow for you to be much further than you would be if you had a pessimistic idea or a small-minded idea or a I can't do mentality or I will not accomplish mindset. Those are limiting thoughts that will ultimately create a grave for your future. And I said it the way it is. It will create a grave for your future. So you might as well recognize the days that you have today, because they will keep repeating themselves. If you have a pessimistic idea, if you have a I can't do mindset or idea about yourself, or I can't achieve those things, but they can, that will be your reality. However, there is better, right? Think on these things. Think on love. Think on faith. Think on belief. Think on optimism. Think on accomplishments. Think on you can do, right? More than anything, you should wake up and say, I can do whatever it is I put my mind to. I can do whatever it is I put my mind to. And that was a switch for a lot of people that I've interviewed thus far on the podcast, when they said within themselves that I want to do something different. I want to do more. I want to accomplish more. Then more came next, right? More than followed. Such as when I was talking to Miss Erica. She was in the midst of a divorce, right? Or a situation within her marriage where she needed to leave. She needed to leave from one island to this big continent of the United States of America. And she just had to say within herself, I believe I can do it, so I'm going to do it. And she did it. And look at her now. She's accomplished so much. She's lived in a beautiful home, drove beautiful vehicles, right? Had a home with a pool and was able to host people and have parties and things like that. But I'm saying that to say it was a switch that she had to switch within herself. She could have had a limiting thought to say, well, no, I don't know women that have 3 kids that are, divorcing from their spouse to make it anywhere. I don't know any women that are in this predicament that have lived a life abroad away from their family and were successful. So if I can't think of anybody who's done it, then I don't surely think I could do it. Well, no, that wasn't her thought. When speaking with the Very, when she made the hit, she ready. She wasn't thinking, oh, this song, like the other songs, or like other songs that she thought she would blow up from, were going to make it. No, she wrote the song, she put it out there, and boom, she was literally ready. And as the song says, she ready. And look at her now. And so the list goes on, from the Lonnies to the LaWarners, right? And more to come. Truth be told, more to come, right? But in it all, I don't want us to glaze over the idea of mindset. There's this book, right? The Secret, that talks about the law of attraction. Believe what you will about it. However, what I do believe about it is from the word, which it says that all things are possible to them that believe. So more than anything, whatever you believe that you can achieve, that's what you will be able to do. Whatever you believe that you can achieve, that is what you will be able to do. Okay, so if you have the belief that you're able to accomplish things that seems like it's unaccomplishable, you will be able to do so. Why? Because when optimism comes, when situations comes, when things that comes against the things that you're saying that you'll be able to do, you'll have the fortitude, you'll have the strength, you'll have the vigor, you'll have the power, you'll have the acknowledgement of you can do, to be able to achieve those things, to be able to overcome those things. Because let me just say this, right? Because, I don't know why people think that it's an easy road to accomplish whatever it is that they desire in his life, but it's not, right? Obstacles are going to come. Tests are going to come. Hate is going to come your way. obstacles that may look like it's set up for your doom are going to come. However, just keep going, and the light will be bright on the end of the tunnel. And you may be thinking, Ricky, you just talking, right? No. This is real life, okay? Prime example, in our current state, in the midst of our move, we sold our home. And while selling our home, there was so many opportunities to quit that came our way that just seemed like we were not going to be able to overcome, from paperwork not being able to be found within the city of Tampa, from us having to get work done on a home, from us having to get the yard done, paying out thousands of dollars in the midst of paying thousands of dollars to South Africa to make moves over there, just money being spent, phone calls being made, doors seemingly to be closed that we need to really be open because we're trying to make this move ASAP Rocky, to people saying they want to buy the house and falling out of the deal, to somebody saying they want to buy the house, but they taking a little bit longer and they making changes. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to change my name to a business name so the business buys the house. Okay, cool. We don't care nothing about that. Let's just keep this ball rolling. Like, all these things are happening. All of these things are happening, just one snippet of our lives, while we still have the kids who are in school, right? And getting ready for summer, preparing for this stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff, where it look like, man, maybe, and times like this, let me just say this for my believers that's in the room, in the space, in this place. Times like that is often when believers say, well, maybe God doesn't want me to do, name that thing. No, just pray. Ask God, is this the path that I should take? Is this what I should do? Or if you ask God in the beginning about whether or not you're supposed to be doing this, and you felt within yourself the peace to say yes to do it, know that those things gonna come, and it's okay to just keep going, because the light will come at the end of the tunnel. The light has come at the end of that particular tunnel, and we sold our home for a beautiful profit, right? And maybe you want to go look at another home, like, man, what else can I buy with this money? Because this split money is good money. But all that to say, when the opposition comes, know that it's okay. You will surely make it to the other end, to the conclusion of that particular story, of that chapter, of that scene in your life. Because those tests, those trials, those obstacles that come our way are only a scene in this thing called life, right? And scenes will come. We're going to have scenes each and every day, each and every hour, each and every minute of our life. But let's not get caught up in the scene and say how we should just stop life because the scene isn't going the way that we want it to go. Let's not do that anymore. Prime example, right? Jesus gets on the boat with his disciples and say, let's go to the other side. While then traveling on the boat, there were storms raging in the sea. Jesus was asleep on the boat because he said what he said, and he knew what he said was going to be so. However, the disciples were all nervous. They were scared because the water was starting to get on the boat, and the winds was throwing the boat to and fro. And they were like, Jesus, don't you care that we are going to die? Like, you over here asleep while we fearing for our lives, trying to pedal out water out of the boat. You know how when water starts coming on the boat, you try to get it with a bucket, but that is not doing nothing. You might as well drop water drops out of the boat, because that's all you really do at the end of the day. But anyway, they are frankly scared, right? And you can't be laughing at them. You can't hold your nose up at them, because we do the same thing when tests and trials come our way. We cry and we bicker and we complain and we pout and we ready to quit, throw in the towel. Like, Jesus, do you see us? No, he said we was going to go to the other side. And just as Jesus woke up, spoke to the wind, said, peace be still, and the wind ceased. Ladies and gentlemen, all we have to do is speak to our situation, speak to our circumstances, and say, peace be still. Even if it's to them or even to us, peace reign over our lives. Joy take over our minds. Faith allow for us to persevere. Believe, please recharge within us right now, and then keep going in the direction and the ways in which you were going prior to that thought of wanting to quit, wanting to stop, or wanting to throw in the towel. Okay. So again, that's just a snippet of why mindset is so important. I can talk on mindset so much because I know that has gotten me so far this way, right? But even in the word, right, it talks about how us as new believers having this new life, for us to not think on the ways in which we have thought, but let this mind be in you, which is in Christ Jesus, or Romans 12, and 2, which says, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the what? Renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Renewing the mind is something that we all have to do. And it's not a one-step process. It's a daily process, because the mind that we have currently is because of the conditions, the things that we've done repetitively, the books that we've read, the movies that we've watched, the shows that we've watched, the communications with people that we've had, the social media posts that we've seen, the social media posts that we've made, the things that we've read. And I mean, you know how it goes. The YouTube videos that we've watched, the podcast episodes that we listen to, all have been conditions that has led us to the mindset that we have presently. And so I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, make sure it's intact. Make sure it has a I can do, therefore I will do mindset. Make sure that faith arises, and faith, more than anything, is belief in action, right? So you're putting action to the beliefs that you have. Therefore, that belief is the root of faith. Therefore, making sure that belief is what it needs to be in, right? The belief that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. The belief that I can do anything that I put my mind to. That is the belief that you want to have. Belief in the fact that, no, I don't have outside hindrances that are blocking me from the things that I want to do. I have the full capability, anointing, and authority to do whatever comes to my mind to do, right? Say those things daily so that you may renew your mind. And then the third key, ladies and gentlemen, like I said in the beginning, it's all about goals. It's all about plans. It's all about vision. Again, the 3 keys to living a fulfilled life, the 3 keys to living a purposeful life, a life of destiny. Call it what you may, call it what you will, but a life that you enjoy daily. That's what it really is. How to live a life that I enjoy daily, that I'm also getting paid to do it, right? The money's going to come. However, you may be thinking, I don't want to do one thing and not have the other thing, because you're working for the money right now. However, when you work from a place of enjoyment, when you work from a place of purpose, when you work from a place of fulfillment, the money will find you. And you'll then realize how invaluable the money is. I'm already there, right? When money is actually an important thing to me right now, but also under the mindset that purpose, fulfillment, and living a destiny life, right? A life of destiny is more important than those things. The rest will come, because it has shown that the rest will come. But anyway, why are those things important? Because it gives you something to look forward to. It gives you something to look to. It gives you something in a direction to aim towards. Because just think, right? If, you were to get on a plane and you bought a ticket to, you don't know the destination, and you took your seat with other people who bought a ticket to the unknown destination, and the pilot on the plane says, I don't know where we're going to go. We're just going to take off and we're going to let what happens. How many of y'all, from a show of likes or clicks yes in the chat, like how many of y'all are going to sign up for that ticket? How many of y'all are going to go on this unknown destination to an unknown place? You don't even know how to pack. You don't even know how to pack to prepare for your unknown destination vacation. However, a lot of us in life today, maybe you, right, today, but you could change that today. A lot of us live life just that way. We live life each and every day without a plan. Therefore, we don't know how to prepare for the things that we have coming up, or prepare for the things that are coming our way. Us moving to Johannesburg, we are locked in on, one, knowing that it's a God move, but then 2, some things that we're going to do. Therefore, it changed the wardrobe. I changed what I packed. A lot of shoes I left, a lot of hats I left, because it doesn't represent who I look to do and look to be while there. No, it's not a change of identity, but it's a recognition of who I am and the purposeful walk that I have to live and be obedient to, right? For example, you may be like, man, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know how that applies. So here in the States, I used to buy a lot of Nikes. I love Nike Dunks, to be exact. I don't like Force or nothing like that. It hurt my feet. I'm flat-footed. But anyway, I love Dunks. And I also bought a lot of New Balances because those actually fit me well. Nonetheless, when I get there, I want to do a lot of things with South African brands, from marketing to helping them to market on YouTube, but more than anything, get into the global market, right? And see, I even hesitated on saying that as I made the little blurb. I hesitated on it because the thought came to mind, who are you, Rickey, to help market these brands there into a global market, right? But I had to overcome that thought. That thought isn't my thought. That is not way I believe. That is not how I think. I do believe through YouTube, through other avenues, Chrystle and I will have the ability to market them in a way that people in other countries, other continents around the world will be able to see these brands and want the brands, want to be able to buy the brands, will be able to wear the brands, will be able to make the brands a global brand. Okay, so I believe I'm going to do it, so I'm going to say it, right? Just an example before you of how a mindset will shape the things that you do and the words that you have, and how it can limit you if you don't overcome those negative thoughts as they try to overcome you. Okay, overcome them so they don't overcome you. Okay, doubt your doubts so that you're only operating in belief. But anyway, where are we at? Goals, right? So that's my plan. So when I get there, it's a South African shoe company that I want to connect with. I'm gonna try to say a name at two. I may be saying it wrong. However, 2 pair of shoes. I'm like, boom, I'm gonna get those. A black pair, probably 2 black pairs, but maybe a blue pair. So I'm not taking a whole bunch of Nikes, jeans and things. There's a company there, Soda Denim, that I'm gonna wear their jeans. I'm gonna wear their denim jackets. Why? Because I want to partner with them. Chrystle and I will partner with them and help them to go on a global scale. So little things like that are what having a plan, having a goal, having a vision will allow for you to do. It allows for me to leave certain things. I took a lot of things to my parents' home, stored them there, or I gave away clothing, or I'm not taking the clothing, right? Or I gave away what I'm not taking. But nonetheless, it's just that simple. It's just that pinpointed to the sense where knowing where you're going will allow for you to prepare where you are today, even down to hair, right? I was like, man, I want to start wearing my hair twisted again. I like how it looks. I just like it. And so I'm like, let me just start to rock it. Glasses. Bought new glasses. Went to go get new eye exam and all those things. Why? Because I know where I'm going. I don't want to spend time trying to find an eye doctor there to get glasses. No, God told me to hit the ground running. And so make sure the glass appointment is taken care of. The dental appointments are taken care of, right? Just getting things lined up and in order so that when I'm there, I can be there and I can operate where there is. And I'm saying that for you as well. What are your goals? What are your plans? Just goals. Just start with goals. What are your short-term goals? I should be able to ask you 5 of your short-term goals of things that you want to accomplish within this month, right? Or the next 2 months. Short-term goals. Write those down. Write down 5. Maybe you want to get a new job. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to boost up your videos. Maybe you do YouTube. Maybe you podcast. You want to do more and you want to connect with more people to be able to do more, or you want to be more specific about the content that you're creating. So you want to create a content log so you're able to track and make sure you're keeping up with the things that you want to do. What are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? What are things that you want to do within the next year to 3 years? Write those things down. And then from 5 to 10, right? And don't get overwhelmed if you can't think 5 to 10 years from now. Cool. Focus on the short term. Okay. And as you accomplish those short-term things, start checking them off, right? Short-term could even be this week. You can go as short. If you can't think 1 to 3 months from now, go from 1 week or 1 day to 1 week from now, right? What are some things that you want to accomplish? And I do this still to this day. What are things that I want to accomplish this week? What are some things that I want to accomplish this day? And the beautiful thing about it is when you have such short-term goals, such as like the days or the next week, and you're able to check those things off, it is so benefiting. It's so rewarding, largely because, I don't know, I guess like humans are, which I'm going to have to do some research on it, but I believe us as humans, like we're built for incentives. We're built on accomplishments. We're built on achievement. And so when I like check a box, I have like notes on my phone where I have lists of things that you can like hit the dot when you complete it. I love doing that. I love seeing it grayed out, or if I wrote it down, I love making a check or crossing it out saying I've done it. It just feels rewarding and fulfilling. And so as I go through those things, I knock them out. Truth be told, so before we moved here back at home, I had content days. And so it was usually like a Saturday or a Monday where I would just film content, maybe 4 to 5 videos in one day. And the day prior to, I would write down which videos I was going to do, write down the title of those videos, and I would write them in the order that I was going to do them. I lied to y'all not. The next day, I would achieve them so much more faster when I wrote it down than when I just knew that I was going to do them, and the next day I was going to pursue to do them, I would lollygag. I would find myself on social media wasting time. I would try to go eat something or try to go full clothes. I just wasting time, trying not to do what I was supposed to do. However, when I had things written down as to what I was gonna do the next day, bam, 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 knocked them out just like that. So I'm saying that to say the benefit, again, another benefit of having goals written down, plans written down, right? That's not only just a goal, but a plan. What am I gonna do the next day? The best time. Here's a cheat code, okay? Here's a cheat code. Come on, write this thing down. The cheat code to planning. The best time to plan for, so, you're going to come in contact with this video or, it's posted on Tuesday. And so the best time to prepare for Tuesday is Monday night. The night before, plan for the day ahead. Plan for, download what you're going to wear. What are you going to, don't waste time in the morning trying to figure out what you're going to wear. Already plan it out, or put it in the front of the closet, or put it where as soon as you wake up, you'll be able to see it. All right, plan for that, prepare for that. Prepare if you're going to have tea, if you're going to have coffee in the morning, or if you're going to drink water in the morning, prepare for that. If you take pills or vitamins, make sure you're already prepared for that. If you go to the gym, make sure all of that is lined up. Your clothes are lined up. Go ahead and prepare all those things. If at work in your day, you have certain tasks that you have to accomplish and do throughout the day, go ahead and make sure you already know what things you need to do throughout the day. Dinner, make sure dinner is planned out. Lunch, make sure lunch is planned out. If you come home and you maybe watch a show, which is cool, everybody relax in their own special way, or read a book, make sure you already have your book lined up or your show written down so that you already know what you're going to do. You're not searching through Netflix or whatever at night, or YouTube, trying to find the show that you want to watch. No, I already know when I come home at 7 o'clock or in the evening, I'm going to watch the last podcast episode of Pursuit of Destiny podcast, right? With Miss Erica. I'm going to watch that one. Single mother of 3, living a purposeful life in America. I'm going to watch that video because I haven't seen it yet. But, write those things down and just make sure all things are lined up so that when the day comes, you wouldn't imagine the peace that you will have throughout the day, the excitement that you will have to get things done and accomplish the things that you have before you. You won't imagine how just aligned you would feel with that day because you already knew what would take place due to you already making your plan. So again, another reason why plans are important. Plans are important. And again, if you don't have a plan for your life, I promise you somebody does. And either you're fulfilling your plan or you're fulfilling their plan. Either way, there is a plan that you are living out each and every day. Okay. So that's goals, that's plans, and vision. A vision is a beautiful thing. A vision gives you the opportunity to see what isn't because it is off in the future. Again, a vision gives you the ability to see what currently isn't because it's off in the future. And so ask God, right? I pray to God. I pray to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. What is the vision that you have for my life? What is the vision that you have for the month of September? What is the vision for my life that you have for December? Allow for me to see these things, and in seeing those things, it allows for me to have one, appreciation for today. It allows me to allow for me to prepare for what's to come because I've already seen a thing. So it lets me know, okay, maybe I need to be reading today. Maybe I don't need to watch a show, right? Maybe I don't need to watch a podcast episode. Maybe I don't need to watch a family vlog from the Joneses or a reaction video from the Joneses. Maybe I need to take a break today, right? Because I need to read a book. I need to prepare for what's to come and not dwindle this time with entertainment or excitement or things like that. Maybe I need to prepare myself, right? Or maybe you need to go to school because there are things and people that you will come in contact with in the future that education will allow for you and prepare you for them, right? Or it may cause you to go to a conference or take a master class or take a class or whatnot, whatever you need to do in the future. Allowing yourself to see it in a vision will allow for you to prepare for today. And then you start making goals, start making plans so that you can walk into that vision that God has for you. If I was to be honest, right, I'm going to share one of the visions that I have had for some years now. And I just am excited for the day that I get to walk into it. It is, ladies and gentlemen, a co-working space, right? It's a co-working innovation space where businesses and people that want to start businesses are able to have monthly subscriptions to this facility, right? You'll be able to have desk or office spaces or meeting spaces that you'll be able to have We'll have a podcast room. We'll have a YouTube room. We'll have a bookstore as soon as you walk in. And then here's like the little fun part, right? You may be like, oh, I heard all that before. Well, here's the fun part that I haven't seen before. So if you see it now, you know where it came from. Is at the desk, at the front desk, welcome desk. It'd be like a semicircle, not a full circle, but maybe a full circle. I don't know. It'd be a circle. And on the outside, it'd be LED screens of all of the companies and businesses and people that are within this facility, right? Paying homage to them, paying thanks to them, but also getting them recognized as soon as people walk in the front doors. However, the light fixture, the chandelier above this desk will be that of a brain, right? And it, we usually see brains as like pink. However, it'll be a black brain with the waves and the stuff, the noodle situation going through it, with lights just trickling through. Again, just recognizing and paying homage to and recognizing how thoughts are so important. The people in this building are here because of the thoughts that they've had that will either get them here, keep them here, and grow them from here. Largely because you'll only have the ability to be there within 7 years. 7 years, you should be complete. You should be able to grow to another space. I want to help you to move to bigger. I want to help you to move to more. I want to help you to move to newer. And so that'll be a part of the program as well. We'll have master classes. We'll have people coming in, flying in, speaking to the people exclusively who have memberships, but then openly as well to people as well. And so, it's going to be a fun space. It's going to be a good space. I already see my office. It's going to be glassed on the glass wall, but I'll be able to frost it when I need to. I have bookshelves of books that I've written. My wife has written. People within the business have written through our publishing company, Love Jones Publishing. And so it'll just be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful space. I already see it. I see it. It's a vision that God has given me, and it's a vision that I walk in. And even with the vision, I don't know the day, right? I don't know the day, the month, the year that it will take place. But what I do know is it will take place. And in it taking place, what am I doing now? I'm connecting with businesses. I'm talking to business owners. I'm reading business books. I'm reading things and thinking of ways, strategizing ways of how to help people, right? How to make them expand, to grow, and to add to their bottom line. And that's what that co-working space will do as well. And so, little things like that. And that's the beauty of vision. So again, the 3 keys. You want to make sure you're aware of your history, not only just yours. Don't be stingy, right? Don't be greedy. Don't be selfish, but to your parents as well, or the people who have raised you, because it has shaped you. Number 2, want to make sure your mindset is intact. And the 3rd key to living a fulfilled life is to have goals, to have plans, to have a vision for your life that you're able to look forward to as you go along your way. So great, people. I pray and I hope that this discussion has been beneficial to you. I know it has been. It has been for me. It's been a reminder for me as I share with you. I've been thinking through what I've been saying. I'm like, man, that was pretty good. God, thank you for that. But more than anything, just again, bringing up to where those conversations has opened my eyes to those 3 key elements. And so even as we go forward with conversations, with interviews, I make sure we highlight those 3 keys so that you're able to say, oh, okay, that's how that played out. Or, oh, okay, that's what their thoughts were in their mindsets to get them to where they are. And oh, okay, that's how they set up their goals. That's how they set up their plans. And that was the vision for their lives. Okay. Oh, wait. Another thing, let me know. I've been asked about why I stopped doing those Bible readings, and largely it's because of the move. However, if y'all want them Bible readings to come back, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll see. We'll get them bad boys going. Okay. Let me know down below, and I'll make sure you see them. Okay. All right, y'all. I can see how they did it for them. Well, let me do this for me, right? And that's the beneficial thing of sharing our stories, of sharing where we are, where we've come from, and the things that we look to do, because it will ignite something within others that we come in contact with, or that come in contact with the content. So, with it all, great people, I love you all. I hope and pray that you have subscribed to the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube, or to the podcast if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform. Go ahead and follow. Go ahead and share. Do that as well. Share to 3 people that you know need these 3 keys, okay? That's all I ask. At the end of the day, share to 3 people that need these 3 keys, and we're going to make sure we keep these interviews coming. I have some great guys that said they want to get on the podcast, so we have to figure out a way, because I'm not in my home anymore. I'm mobile, And so it may not look like what you used to podcasts look like. Even this one doesn't even look like what the other ones have looked like. However, I thank you all for rocking with your boy thus far. And when we get to Johannesburg, we have some awesome podcast episodes that are along the horizon because of the people that I've connected with and the conversations I know are going to be dynamic, right? Some of them we probably have to do like part 1 and part 2 because I can already think of their stories and how like so many elements piece up to who they are that it's gonna be worth it. So until then, great people, I love you all. I appreciate you all. I will see you on the next episode. Peace.